Hello and welcome to this video. Have you ever heard of the Portello principle? Now the Portello principle is all about making sure that when it comes to learning something new, then actually 80% of what you need to learn should only take you 20% of the time. And that's definitely the case when it comes to the topic of today, which is Xero. Now in Xero, which is an accounting package that a lot of businesses are using, I promise you that actually when it comes to learning Xero, you're going to get lots and lots and lots of it done in 10 minutes or so, and then it's going to take you a lot longer to get that last 20%. So the first 80% is what we're going to cover today. You should walk away from this feeling confident to at least have a go at Xero. That way you can start putting information in there, you can start understanding how your business is doing, start using the tools that's there, but ultimately what you should be able to do is also be able to go in and actually think about if there is anything that doesn't quite work for you or isn't making much sense. You're going to have at least enough skills to do a bit of troubleshooting to be able to get yourself in the right way. And plus there's lots and lots of content out there to make your life easier as well. So join me as we look at Xero and we try and get you to 80% of the way there in just under 10 minutes. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer for Intuit QuickBooks. Yes, I said the QuickBooks word in a Xero video. Don't judge me. That QuickBooks chap on the internet, and also head of account here at Boffix. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Xero itself, and we're going to be making sure that you know exactly how to start out on Xero and get pretty much to 80% of what you'll need to know. That next 20%, as I said in the intro, is going to be really tricky, but at least if you know that first 80%, you're going to be in a good position to get yourself off the ground. And Xero is wonderful at making sure that your business is supported. So the more people who know about this, the better it's going to be. So join me as we go in straight away into having a look at what you should know about Xero. Okay, first of all, let's make sure everyone is aware of the screen in front of me, which is your dashboard. Now, it's a brand new file, so there's not much in here. But as you start developing and putting more information in here, this is one of the key areas of Xero itself. You see, this area here is going to give you the confidence to make sure that your business is going in the right way. And it's going to offer you information that's going to help you going forward. You see, this is all editable. See the little option at the top there, edit dashboard? Well, you're clicking on that and you're going to have the option to go and change items on here, say what you want to show, put items in different ways. And as you start to add more complexity to your business, more tiles are going to appear on here as well. Also, don't discard some of the tool tips that have been given to you straight away. I've been given the opportunity to watch an overview of the main features. That's definitely going to be something that's worthwhile looking at. Now, first thing I would tell you to do at the very beginning is it's trying to go through the setup guide. So do make sure that you've completed that setup guide accordingly. And once you've done that, you should see that you're then given this particular screen here. Now, first of all, the first thing we need to do is make sure we know how to add a new transaction. So I'm going to use the add button at the top, the create new button, and I'm going to straight into creating a new invoice. You see, if you can get yourself an invoice out from Xero, you're going to be able to make sure that you know how to deal with income itself. So let's see what it's asking us. Okay, so the whole thing here is we're creating a brand new invoice. Now this invoice that we're looking at doing, we've got to say who it's for. So I'm going to say Aaron Patrick, and it's going to give me tooltips on creating a brand new contact. So I'm going to follow that through. Don't need to put the rest of the information in, but it's your CRM solution, your client customer record database. So you're putting as much information in there as you need to. I have the option to put a reference, an invoice number. If I don't put an invoice number, it's just going to start creating one for me, and then an issue date. I can choose or pick another date just here, and the due date as well. So let's say it's today's date, but I want it to be the end of the month that it's due. You also get some payment options here. Don't ignore these payment options, because these payment options, once I go into them, it's going to give you an option to add on new opportunities so that you can make sure that your customer can pay you dead quickly. Choose a currency as well, just there. And then finally, we're getting into what it is that we've actually sold. You can put predefined items in there so that you can find them easily, or you can just free roam it. So from here, I'm going to say that there's £100 or £1,000. We can say what account we want that to go into. So do we want it to sales? Do we want it something that's going to be unique? VAT is really important. Let's make sure we're getting that correctly. Remember, you have the option of doing tax exclusive or tax inclusive. Up here, tax exclusive means the VAT has been added on top, whereas if I move it to inclusive, it's working the VAT out automatically for me going backwards. I'm going to keep it tax exclusive. I've got the £1,000 there. I can put a description in there, hourly hours worked. And then all I need to do is approve an email at the top here. And if I had an email address, it would send directly to my customer as needed. So that's putting an invoice in. Hopefully you can see really straightforward. A lot of this is giving you opportunities, but also remember that the way that Xero works is that means that this item has now been approved. And if I want to make any adjustments, I need to be making sure that I actually go in and I unapprove it first before I can go into editing it and properly going through. So that's creating your first invoice. Let's make sure you know how to put an expense in there. Again, I'm going to use the create button straight away. I have the option to do a bill just here, or I can use the option there for spend money. A bill is something that you're going to pay for at a later date, where spend money is effectively the opportunity for you to go and put a connection in. So we're going to put a bill in as an expense, and with that bill, we're going to be able to say what it was. So first of all, let's say that we went to PC World. You might need to create a new contact based on that, that's not a problem. You say what date it was and what due date they've had. Well, let's say they give us till the end of the month to make a payment for this one. Reference, and also the option of adding the file as well. Highly recommend that we do that. Then it's about adding the line items. So let's go in and say that we've had a new item. Again, we can add a new one if we need to. But what I'm going to see here is I'm going to say that we have bought a PC. In fact, no, we're not. We bought a MacBook. That MacBook has cost us $2,500, and the item we want to put it in is computer equipment. Then it's really important that we consider the VAT section here. Remember, VAT is basically what we've got. We want to have a copy of that invoice, and on that invoice we want to see what that actual VAT that suffered, in this case £500. Again, I would recommend that you put that invoice up here, make sure it's included in the little drop down box here, and make sure that it's there for proof of where you've got that from. And then you get the option to approve, and that bill has now been set. So we've had a quick look at putting an invoice in and putting a bill in. So hopefully you can start seeing how you can put invoices and bills in, so income and expenditure, and that should start building things up. Okay, the next most important part about Xero or any form of cloud-based software is about connecting your bank accounts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this add account button just here, and we're going to go through and add our first bank account. Okay, so the next section we're going to be talking about is the bank account. So once you've gone through what I've just shown you of connecting the bank account, then it's going to be about reconciling 29 items. And when you go to reconcile 29 items, these are going to show you the transactions, 29 of them in this case, that haven't yet appeared or gone into Xero. And it's really important that we make sure that we put these items in. Now, first of all, keep an eye out for these green items here. That's what they're saying is what we call find and match. Basically, the transaction's already in Xero, and what we're doing here is we're saying on the left-hand side is what appears on the bank account, on the right-hand side is what we're going to do with it. So in this case, we found there's a Ridgeway University invoice 0035, and we found the match for that that's already in there. And when we press OK, it's going to match that accordingly. Same with this one. We've already put this Trunkston Property Management in, 118125, 118125 spent. So we press OK and they're done. They're going to be your easier ones of doing them. Also, Xero is going to start thinking about what it believes these are going to be. Now, these are either going to be transactions that have already been done in the past, or they're going to be transactions that they've seen elsewhere. And basically, this gives you the stage of who it was. So in this case, it was Ridgeway Banking, what we're calling it, so bank fees, and give you the chance to say why there and put a little memo in there if you need to. You also have the chance as well to choose VAT down here if that's the case, and you can add some further details if needed. And this is where this section at the top becomes really useful. Your first section match, that's when you're saying there's a transaction that's already in Xero and you're trying to match it, so you can maybe want to force it if you're convinced that £15 there. You have the chance to transfer, if you want to transfer it from one bank account to another, or you have the chance to create. We do also discuss as well. If you're a little bit confused about it, you can then start putting the discuss option to find that. Effectively though, once I press OK, it disappears off this list. And now I've done 3 of the transactions, so I'm down to 26. Or maybe it's something completely new. Well, here it's fast pay, doesn't give me much information. So maybe that's something I want to discuss and say, please provide invoice. Smart agency, my next one, might be something I know exactly about. And actually, if I put that against a contact called smart agency, which we've already got, if I know this is advertising marketing, I choose what category it relates to. I can put a description as well in here, making sure the VAT's correct, and then I can press OK, and I'll add that transaction through there as well. The whole idea is that we have a balance in Xero here, and we have a statement balance just here. And the idea is that this one and this one should both be the same. Once you've reconciled all these transactions, the hope is that those two will be the same. And remember, once you've done that, you want to be going to accounting, reports, and from here, this is where you get a chance to look at your profit and loss account as an example. And this is going to make sense to you of what's happened. The profit and loss account is going to be the report that's going to help you make sure you understand what's going on. Every time you add a new income, you should see that your turnover increases. Every time you add a new expense, in some way, your expense should increase. And overall, the profit that your business has made is going to go up or down, depending on what transaction you have. So what I highly recommend you do is get grips with what this profit and loss account looks like. Have the option to compare it with previous year. And there's even an option to make sure you can have a month-by-month profit and loss, which I think is going to make it even easier for you. All the data here is fully giving you the option to drill down. So if I want to look at my advertising marketing in a little bit more detail, I click on the number, I go into the transaction, the smart agency there that we added together. In that transaction, I can click into it and see exactly that information I had, and even make amendments to it if I need to. Options, edit transaction, and I can edit accordingly. And there you have it. There's 80% of Xero, giving you that confidence and that opportunity to understand where to go from here. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to learn about Xero itself, a lot more features in there. And if it's something that you're definitely interested in, let us know in the comments below and we'll do a follow-on video to try and give you an insight to what that extra 20% is all about. I'm a QuickBooks trainer, so I spend most of my time training other accountants and clients on best to use QuickBooks. But I also use Xero on a day-to-day basis as well. So I'm using my training that I've had from training all those QuickBooks people and converting it into what's going to be useful for anyone on the Xero bandwagon. And with that, that gives us an opportunity to make sure that you have all of the information you need to be able to get trained properly on Xero. So what's next? Well, comment down below if there's anything else you want to add into a further video, but also keep an eye on this channel because we'll be doing lots and lots of training, not only on QuickBooks, but also on Xero. So make sure that you've got yourself subscribed, share the content as well, and also don't forget that you've got that option to put that little ding button at the top so that every time we upload something, you'll be the first to know about it. Either way, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and make sure that you have everything you need. As always, doing a video like this has been an absolute pleasure, even if it was Xero and not QuickBooks Online. That being said, my name is Aaron Patrick, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.